Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati.
Hare Krishna. Welcome and thank you for following our Bhagavad-gita series. And if you're not following our Bhagavad-gita series, you can look below there and there will be some links and playlists and so on. So you can start from the beginning or you can just stay with us here. I'm reading the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita, and our Bhagavad-gita is translated and commented by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And today's verse is text 11 in the second chapter. Second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized. And the second chapter is a very good chapter for, that foundation in spiritual life, that paradigm shift that we want to do. Going from a world that is based on our bodily conception of life to the understanding of our spiritual nature and what that actually means. So here is text 11. I will read the Sanskrit also. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochan Anvashocastvang Pragyavadangscha Bhashase Gathasuna Gathasungscha Nanusochanti Panditaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. In the previous verse, as we have seen, Arjuna has been expressing his doubts, and he has become overwhelmed by grief, and he has become unable to decide for himself what is right and what is wrong, what to do and what is not to do. So he's turning to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as his spiritual master. And then Krishna, he reciprocates, he's smiling, he's non-disturbed, he has all this knowledge that Arjuna is looking for. And he starts, yes, I will read the purport here. The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, you are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit, and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the Supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the conditions of the material body. Yes, so this is the shift right there. Of course, we will read in different verses, we understand Arjuna in different ways. The fact that he is compassionate, that he cares about his suffering relatives, it also shows his qualities of soft-heartedness and compassion. This is not wrong. This is a good thing. Sometimes people who have an ideology, they become hard-hearted because they know that they are right, and therefore the end justifies the means. That is not what we are looking at here at all, although sometimes it becomes, the Bhagavad-gita is interpreted in that sense. No, the thing is, first we have to come to the point where we know what is what. First we have to understand that it doesn't matter any arrangement we make, we cannot change some things in life. We cannot change the fact that we will die. But what doesn't die is the spirit soul, is the eternal spirit that is us, the person, within the body. And to change our worldview, to come back to that, sometimes we need a little, an awakening. We need to be shaken up a little bit. And Krishna, in a very kind and, peaceful manner, shows Arjuna this. He's saying indirectly, you are using big words here. You are putting up philosophy. You are speaking about, how to say, the fate of the whole world, and you want to do which is right, that which is right. But actually you don't know what is right. And another sign of wisdom is that you become steady, you become peaceful. And it is difficult to understand this sometimes because we have a material, how to say, we have a bodily conception of life. We see the bodies and we see them suffer, and we're horrified and we want to do something about it. Yes, I am a newcomer to the wonderful world of Facebook, and it is very nice because you can connect and you can hear from different persons and friends, and sometimes these things come up, these horrible things. Like, how could they do this to the poor little puppy, or to this and that? And they are horrible. All these things are horrible. We have politicians who are robbing their nations and turning everything upside down. We have people who will torture some animals, and these things are horrible. And we want to be compassionate, and we want to feel that, like, we cannot stand that suffering. But we have to come back and understand what is the cause of the suffering and what will actually help. If we simply try to rescue bodies one after another, and we don't understand the foundation of suffering and the, how to say, the cause of relief and the nature of the person who does the suffering, us, then we won't be able to help anybody. It's just like any endeavor you want to undertake. First you have to understand what's happening. We have to understand the basis. You want to build a house because you want to shelter your family from the cold. You don't just slam up some wood. You build a foundation. You understand what materials are strong and will last and will isolate you from the cold. You don't just hurry up and just do something. You can do that. You can hurry up and just do something. But mostly that will be wasted time, wasted effort, and you will not accomplish your goal. So here Arjuna is lamenting, and he's feeling compassionate to his family, and he doesn't want them to suffer. Then we have to step back a little bit and say, why are we suffering? What is the cause of suffering? And what is the actual relief from suffering? And that is to adopt a spiritual worldview. And that it's a big change of perspective. And that Krishna is asking Arjuna to do that. He's asking in a gentle way, but still he will be very clear and to the point. Because it doesn't help anybody if you come to a teacher and you want to know something and the teacher says, yes, you are fine. If you want to start driving a car and the teacher says, yes, you are fine. You can continue driving in the first gear forever and never learn to turn the car because I don't want to offend your sensibilities and tell you that you don't know what you're doing. But when you're a student, you come to the teacher because you realize you don't know what you are doing. So you have to learn. And if the teacher has the knowledge and has the capacity to give that knowledge, and the student is sincere and willing to how to say, enter the path of this knowledge, then this will become perfect. And that is what Krishna and Arjuna is doing here. And I sometimes have to overcome a little bit of a tendency to, to worry about who is looking at me. Do they know anything about spiritual life? Will this be too much for them? But we want to speak on the Bhagavad-gita so that we have the opportunity to take up spiritual life and absorb this knowledge. And it's not just knowledge, because knowledge can be somehow a dry thing. You sit in your armchair and you speculate a little bit, and you enjoy your own the own ability of your own mind, so on. It doesn't always take you anywhere, but this knowledge is steeped in devotion, is steeped in understanding who we really are. So it's that's one definition of philosophy, actually. It's a system that describes reality. So this system of reality that the Bhagavad-gita is describing is a reality that is not something that is happening on the surface. It comes down to the actual core, to the actual basis of reality. And then in the end, Krishna will tell Arjuna, now I told you everything, you think about it, you do whatever you like. So there's no force in it. But if we don't take the trouble to understand reality as it is, and lifting our viewpoint above this bodily conception of life, then we haven't done the best we can do in this material, in this human life form. Because as human beings, we have the capacity to understand this knowledge and to adopt it in our lives, and to open a whole new horizon of spiritual knowledge in our lives. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang